Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Quantum Lounge, a Zoom that we have once a week, and it's about everything quantum. It's about life, spirituality, energy. And today's show is Your Personality Creates Your Reality. So give it a listen, and maybe one day you'll want to come on and join us. But anyway, so I'm going to start by saying that my realization in 2005, after a massive shift in consciousness, is that we do create our reality. And indeed, everything we think, say, and of course do is creating your reality from your personality. So if you've got habits that are not the best habits, you might be creating a life that is not as good as you would want it to be. So it's all about awareness, self-awareness about your actions. So I'm going to open it up and we're going to have a conversation about it.
Who's going first?
Go ahead, Robbie. Looks like you, lad.
All right. Well, I think that we have to look at our personality, as we grow older and really see how it's developed through time. Because I feel a lot of our personality, at least for me growing up before I became maybe perhaps more conscious or more aware, a lot of my personality was based on my upbringing, based on, the people in my life. So maybe you want to say genetics or just like nature versus nurture. I feel like a lot of our personality is, I heard one guy say, I forget what his name was, but he said it, a lot of our personality is coping mechanisms. And so we have a lot of, a tendency to say, oh, that's just the way I am, or that's who I am. And, I'm sure Alan will talk to that. That's a lot about our story, right? So a lot of our story turns into our personality. And so we have to learn how to overcome that as we become more conscious, more self-aware, and we start doing that work and letting go of the past. Because I think a lot of people identify, with their story and with their personality as something that's unchangeable. And I think a lot of the times their personality is coming from their mind, not their heart, right? Where, some people use maybe humor as a defense mechanism or things like that, or they're almost aggressive and loud because they're scared of certain things. So I think that a lot of personality can be manufactured or in certain ways almost controls us rather than we control it. And so I've looked at the recently about how, is this who I really am, or is that how I was conditioned, programmed, or raised? Is it something that I really truly feel in my heart, or is it because of the people I'm hanging out with? Am I just acting like this to go along with the crowd? Is that who I am? Is that my core essence? And I feel like a lot of that has melted away. And actually, so when you can start, I think, removing that, you get your true essence, you get your childlike essence back, and you're a little more outgoing, a little bit more excited. You do things that you want to do, and you're more apt to say no to not doing things that you don't want to do. Because I think sometimes, at least for me growing up, a lot of my personality was maybe people pleasing, or trying to fit in because you wanted to make sure you were saying the right things because of the group you were with or whatever. But as you grow and you really start to understand who you are at your core, I think your personality kind of shifts in that way, and it becomes much more rewarding because you're your true self, not this manufactured or conditioned or programmed thing from childhood. So you really start understanding who you are and what your true light is, rather than the programs that you were thinking were your personality, right? So that's my little piece, and I'll pass it on to whoever's up next.
Thanks, Rob.
You're welcome.
I can continue, Rob.
Excellent, Rob.
So
Sorry.
oh, I didn't hear you. You want to go?
No, Jane, go on. You can go.
Okay. Yeah,
Go
I agree with you, Rob. I think I totally believe, and I can only speak from my own experience. Personality to me is a self-construct, and we construct our personality on a regular basis. Like going back to, if I can go back into the past, I would behave a certain way with a certain group of people, So at work, I'd be like, a bit dominating and everything in control. And personality was almost like a mask. Okay, this is my personality here. With my friend circle that I'm really close, it's like, okay, I'm gonna laugh. I'm gonna just let my guard down. And they would know the Jane as, oh, this is Jane. She's fun. At work, oh, Jane is like focused. And I think that's why I believe personality is totally a self-construct. And it's almost a mask that we put on when we're not aware of who we are. But when I realized, like, I'm gonna let go, because I've, like Carl would say to me, oh, go and speak or do a YouTube video, and soon my construct would come. Well, I want to behave a certain way in front of the public. So no, I need to know exactly what I'm going to speak. And it's my ego, and oh, I'm shy because I would hold on to a certain personality that I want to, that I'm comfortable with. But as I became aware and conscious about, as you say, your personality is your reality. Now I know I do not want to live in a world where I'm just putting a different mask in front of different people. I've decided I'm just going to be me because I love myself now. And it's okay if people don't agree with me or don't like the way I speak or whatever I'm saying. We have different opinions. That's perfectly fine. I love me, and I'm gonna be who I really am. So at this point, I would say, once I've taken off these masks of personality, and I want to enjoy and be authentic. So I want an authentic reality. So yeah, you're right. Your personality creates your reality. If I want to be sad or if I want to put on a persona, I'm going to get like a real fake response from other people. But if I'm going to be me and I want to experience the authentic me, I'm going to get the authentic response from others. So yeah.
Thanks,
And I'll
Rob.
pass it on to whoever wants to go next.
And you have done, and I've noticed big time. Yeah, it's amazing.
Thanks, Carl. Los.
I agree
Oh,
with everything
come
that's
on.
been said.
Come on. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, as Jane says, I think personality is a self-construct that we have manufactured by our upbringing, by our past, by our programming, but that's not who we are. And when you realize that, as was said, Rob, your essence, then you have control over what you express, what you think, what you feel, what you do. And that's a whole different ballgame. And that determines your reality. When you see that you are in control of your reality by what you express, by who you really are, your authentic self, then you become master of the universe, not subject to everything that's going on around. It's not external anymore, it's internal. And self-determination. By realizing that, self-determination. I loved what you said, Carl, before about being asleep and awake. If we could just sound the alarm clock, if we could just assist others in awakening, then we would have a beautiful world, because it is beautiful here when you are in control and express the truth of yourself. Then you're not out to guard against someone else. You're not out to hurt anybody else. You're not in fear of anybody else. You can just be yourself and relax. And that is the greatest freeing experience going. So I hope that people can awaken to their own essence, their own life force within, because that's who you really are, is life expressing through this particular body, mind, and heart. So that's the way I see it.
Colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, also on the faces of people watching by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how'd you do? Sarah, would you like to say something
I
too?
love you. So I'm listening to you guys, and what's going through my mind is,
Sarah, can you put your camera up just a touch? Your head's chopped off.
hang on, my head. I chopped my head off. Hang on, let me put another book here. Is
You're
that
just
better?
you're just trying to plug that shirt you're wearing, right?
No, oh God, no. I'm just, I just don't have a proper place to put my iPad. So anyways, I'm listening to you guys, and what goes through my mind is that I've learned over the years to become my true authentic self and speak from my heart, and not build a story. Oh, I said something. I think Jane rolled her eyes, and not to worry about whether Jane rolled her eyes, because she could have rolled her eyes because she's tired. But I right away built a story. I should have said this. I shouldn't have. And I recently was asked to talk about somebody, and I started talking, and I got nervous, and I said, guys, if I'm going to sound corny, I apologize, but I have to tell you, when I talk from my heart. And I believe if we talk from our heart with kindness and no alternative agenda, we are who we are, and the stories disappear. So I could say to you, I think I'm very shy, but you would say, I don't think Sarah is shy. But it doesn't matter whether I feel shy or not. This is who I am, and this is the way I am. And you know, over the years, we're indoctrinated to do this, to do that. We have to do this, we have to do this. And we kind of follow these things, but somewhere, for the grace of God, somehow something like an acorn, a pine cone, falls on your head, and you go, oh, hey, wait a second. This is who I truly am. And do we have personalities with certain circumstances? Sometimes we have to do that. I'm not going to go to work and be like the hippie, come try my sprouts, right? When you know you're in a serious meeting. But at the same time, I'm not going to suffocate who I really am. And it's not even a personality. For me, I'm letting go of my personality. I'm just becoming me. I'm Sarah. And today was a good day. And tomorrow, Carl, I might hurt your feelings. And then you and I will talk it out. And I go, I didn't mean to say that, or I was tired. There is for me, there's no personality. Every moment is a fresh moment. And we are so fortunate that every second, every moment that we wake up in the morning, we don't get a second chance in life. We get a new chance to try again. So whatever mistakes I made today, it's not because I'm stupid or I'm shy or there's no personality. There's no story. Whatever it doesn't matter whether I was tired or I decided to be mean that day. Today's a new day, and whatever happened yesterday is like 5 minutes ago. Learn from it and try again today. So for me, I don't think I really have a personality anymore. I'm just Sarah.
Let me try again.
So, my friends, basically, what we're saying is you can create any personality that you want. If you've got an angry personality, how's your life going so far? If you've got a happy personality, I'm sure you're probably meeting happy people. Gandhi, and I love this saying, this quote, said, you be the change you want to see in the world. And I've said this before, did Gandhi know about physics? Because that energy is showing that whoever you are, the world, people, experiences will show up in that light. So just little things like being kind, saying hello, saying goodbye, saying please, saying thank you. All them little things become part of your personality. And as I teach my kids and they get it, everything becomes a habit. Your personality does create your reality. It creates your vibration. It can higher your vibration or it can lower your vibration.
So is it a personality trait when, for me, for example, whenever I go somewhere, I say, thank you so much, have a wonderful day. And it's not just lip service. I really mean that. Like today with the car, I said, oh, I couldn't get into the service And the guy came and he said, come. And I went up this, and I said to him, thank you so much for helping me get through that. He goes, I understand the sun was probably in your eyes and you didn't know if the door's going to open. And we started chatting, but I didn't just say thank you. I was really thanking him for helping me get through what I thought was an embarrassing moment. Look at me, I can't get into the service station. So I don't know, is that a personality trait or is it just talking from your heart? Because you really
How do you think it made him feel, Sarah?
Oh, he felt, he goes, he goes to me, you must be Sarah. I know you must be Sarah.
And how did that make you feel?
And I'm like, I am. And, and then they all started helping me with so many things very quickly. But I don't know. I don't know how to, but I wasn't doing him to make him feel good or bad. I was literally from my heart very grateful, because part of me was a little bit embarrassed. Look, I can't get into, like, you have to go up this hill and you have to go really slowly to get, and the doors will open. And I'm like,
make a difference, though, doesn't it, Sarah?
Sorry?
It does make a difference to his energy. And all the masters taught this. Jesus said, in giving you shall receive. And I'm not religious, but that's what he meant. So it's an energy, it's an exchange. You made him happy, which makes you happy in return. It raises the vibration, right? And it makes your life better.
But that's who I am. It's not my personality. I don't see it as a personality. That's just who I am.
That's beautiful, Sarah. Beautiful. So, guys, I think, unless anyone wants to say anything else.
You know who has the best personality? Cheese Whiz. You guys remember those commercials? Maybe you guys got it. Maybe Carl wasn't around for those here in Canada yet, but the Cheese Whiz has personality, or Jane even. You guys remember those?
I'm sorry about that, my friends. He's Canadian. So we'll see you next week. Have a great week. And remember, you be the change you want to see in the world. And look at life like this.
Through rose-colored glasses.
Yeah.